Good morning, Corpus Christi, Coastal Bend, listeners worldwide. Welcome on in to another edition of the Sunday Sports Rush right here on News Talk KEYS 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. We are live in the studio. We're back. I am your host, James Espinosa. Joined alongside my good friend, co-host and producing this show, it is Adin Ducker.
What's Gucci with it?
This morning, we have a special guest in the house, the one, the only, Jerry Plemons.
Yeah, baby.
Good morning, man. There's too much happening. My sports pants are going crazy right now.
Sports is happening, and we're glad to be back in studio. Took a week off last week, ran a best of show, had some of you guys asking questions. Where are you guys at? Where'd y'all guys go? It was just a nice little reprieve, nice little week off, but we're back in studio for you this morning. 361-882-5397, 361-882-5397. That is the number on how you can text into the show free of charge. You can interact with us all show long. Get your sports takes in. We only have 2 hours to do this. We're with you all the way till 11 o'clock. Coming up at 9:50 in the first hour, we'll have our Cowboys Rewind, where we're going to take a look back at that horrendous performance. Yes, we do. We have to do this. It's therapeutic. We're going to take a look back at that Cowboys-Cardinals game and give you some of my thoughts on that. At 9:30, we got a college football recap. At 9:20, we got the news for you. But right now, I have a question of the day for the listening audience and for everybody in here. So hit us up on the text line. The question of the day, what is your biggest Cowboys concern? That's it. What is it? 3 weeks into the season, what is the biggest concern that you have about this Dallas Cowboys team? Hit us up, 361-882-5397. You could also tweet me or X me, whatever you want to call it, at Sir Edward James. Go ahead and hit me up. Let us know.
Tweet.
Tweet?
Yes.
But I want to X.
No. There's a study that like 70% of people still use Twitter. Still use the term Twitter.
I use Twitter.
Yeah.
I use Twitter. I'm just being silly this morning. But hit me up. Do that at Sir Edward James. What is your biggest Cowboys concern, Jerry?
Well, at first, before the season started, I thought it was going to be Dak. But Dak is doing okay. I'm going to go to what you said way back before the season even started. I disagreed with you. You said the offensive line. The health of the offensive line, and then the lack of quality backups was going to be an issue. And I thought, no, they'll be all right. But we saw how fast that just turned around with that game.
Yeah. I mean, when you don't have your three perennial, Pro Bowl, All-Pro offensive linemen, and I guess Tyler Biadasz, he's not on the level of Zach Martin or Tyron Smith, but he's still a really, really good center. And when you're missing those three. And you're starting Brock Hoffman, you're starting TJ Bass, you're starting Chuma Edoga at left tackle. Things are not going to go well. No. And you know what? That's a fair and valid criticism. Aiden, give me your real quickly biggest Cowboys concern, and then we'll hit our topic.
Biggest concern right now is health because you already lost Trayvon Diggs, and Diggs' injury kind of reared its ugly head more than I thought it would. Even though it was more about the run game, but I still feel like him being out kind of. The defense kind of they look shook a bit. Let's just say that. And then the offensive line injuries, of course. If I were to put a number two, though, it'd probably be like how well Dak plays.
Okay.
And that's always to me, the Cowboys' success always rides on the back of Dak's arm.
All right. There we go. That's fair. So if you have your takes, get them into the text line, 361-882-5397. Question of the day, what is your biggest Cowboys concern? We will get to you throughout the show. I promise you that. Right now, though, topic number one. It's a football Sunday, but we're going to lead off with some damn baseball because it's getting crazy in the AL West in particular. First and foremost, congratulations to the Texas Rangers. I will be a gracious host. Congratulations to the Rangers, their first playoff appearance since 2016. Good job, Rangers.
They almost blew it, man. Almost. They almost Ranger did.
They had a stretch. When was this? In August and early September, they had a stretch where they lost 16 out of 20 games.
And I believe they only converted 3 saves out of 16 opportunities.
They have the highest blown save rate this entire season.
I like how we're supposed to congratulate the Rangers. Yeah, we're talking about their down.
Congratulations, but
Yeah,
Just an Astros fan in us.
Jerry's a resident
Ranger
Ranger fan. Jerry, congratulations. How do you feel about your Rangers?
There's no congratulations yet because they haven't won the division. The whole point is to get the division.
But y'all guys were a 100-loss team last year, and the fact y'all made the playoffs this year,
true.
That's
and
huge.
Considering the injuries they have in their starting rotation, it's incredible that Bruce Bochy has done an amazing job with that team. With no bullpen, the worst bullpen, I can't even remember.
I mean, the worst bullpen in I don't want to say the worst bullpen in baseball, but
well, actually, I think it is this year.
Yeah.
And they still potentially could win the division. That's just incredible. And wait till they get the pitchers back next year.
So the scenario today for Astros and Rangers fans, it's as simple. This is for the Astros, right? If the Rangers lose to the Mariners and the Astros beat the Diamondbacks, the Astros are the American League West champions.
Yeah.
If the Rangers win, then the Rangers win the American League West. It is that simple today.
If the Astros lose, Rangers win.
Yes.
Yeah, no matter what.
It is that simple today. It comes down to the last day of the season.
Yep. We were talking about this all summer, and it's now down to the last game.
It's crazy how day 162 is here, game 162, and the division has not even been settled yet. Astros fans, it was a night to rejoice because the Astros were in a dogfight.
Oh, yeah.
Against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they pull out the victory. It is a 1-0 victory, and we have the final call right here from Todd Callis of AT&T Sportsnet.
He got him. Maldonado will make the throw, and the Astros are in the playoffs. 7 straight years. The Houston Astros get to the postseason. This one more difficult than all their other division runs, but here they are, a playoff team for the 7th consecutive year, the 4th longest run in Major League Baseball history. What a night in Phoenix.
That's a crazy note that Callis had at the end. 7 straight years for the Astros, the 4th longest run in the history of Major League Baseball. I didn't realize that until I heard Callis say that, but you can hear the excitement in Todd Callis' voice. This year was very trying as an Astros fan.
Yeah, I think from the top of my head, I think probably the Yankees in the late 90s, early 2000s, and the Braves in the 90s probably have been to more consecutive playoffs. I'm trying to think of the other team.
I don't know, maybe like a St. Louis Cardinals from the 60s. I don't know, something like that. The Big Red Machine.
Because I know back in the day, it was just the top teams in each league, and that was the World Series.
Yes.
And so like all those Yankees teams, you know.
That's true. That's true. You're right about that.
Technically missed the playoffs if you didn't finish first in the league record-wise.
But such a tough year for the Astros. Injuries galore, just like your Rangers, Jerry. Injuries galore. They missed Altuve for the first almost 2 months. They lost Luis Garcia.
Jordan was out a month.
Jordan was out. Who else did they lose in the starting rotation? They lost Urquidy for a little while.
Lance McCullers.
I mean, it was a tough year, but credit to the Astros. They will be in the postseason. They will have an opportunity to defend their World Series crown, and I'm excited about that.
How comfortable are you with Christian Javier on the mound today? You don't know what you're getting out of him.
Man, I don't know.
He's been better the last 2 starts.
He has.
I saw him in person against the Orioles. Absolutely shove. So I'm encouraged that.
Did the Astros win that game?
Yeah, they walk off. Yeah,
off.
I posted a video. That was a great experience, by the way.
So now that the Astros are in the playoffs, it depends. They could be in this wild card round that starts on Tuesday, and it all depends about what happens today, or they could be starting their playoff run next Saturday in the division round. But if I am the Astros and how I'm going to set my playoff rotation, top 3 pitchers, right, going into the playoffs, Verlander, 1.
No, that's got to be Framber
Yeah,
1.
You think Framber 1?
Well, Verlander just pitched.
Well, I'm talking about, okay, if they get to the divisional playoff, right?
Yeah.
If they get to the divisional playoff where they'll have a week of rest and you get to actually reset your arms, I would go Verlander 1, Framber 2, JP France 3.
I'd go Framber number 1.
You think Framber number 1 no matter what?
Yeah, younger arm, you want to... Framber's their guy, I think. He's been the guy all year.
Yeah, I mean, Framber has been consistent since the All-Star break.
So Verlander's had some duds.
But it's the playoffs now.
Yeah.
You don't think these guys are going to turn it up a little bit for the playoff?
But the thing is, though, like, it's more likely the Astros get a wild card spot than they win the division. I hope, I hope the Mariners show up and beat the Rangers, but I mean, who knows?
The Astros still got to do their part. So if it does start on Tuesday, when did Framber last pitch?
He last pitched, I believe, was it
a couple nights ago, right?
Yeah, but Verlander pitched two nights ago. So.
Verlander pitched last night.
I think didn't he pitch the first game of the Mariners series?
So he hasn't pitched in about 5 days then.
So he would be if the Astros still have the wild card
on Tuesday,
Framber would be the first guy.
He'd be the starter. And the thing about the wild card round, ladies and gentlemen, is this: it's only a 2 out of 3. It's a best 2 out of 3. And if you are the lower seed, which the Astros will be, if they get in that position, all 3 games would be hosted by the higher seed.
And there's a conundrum with the Blue Jays on whether or not they, whether they win or not.
Yeah.
Because
still a lot to be decided today. It's like I said, there's madness going on, guys. Madness. 361-882-5397. If you have any baseball thoughts, get them in right now. But the one thing that you need to know, if you're a Rangers fan or if you're an Astros fan today, one, the division title is still on the line. Last game of the season. If the Rangers win, they are the champs. If the Rangers lose and the Astros win, the Astros are the champs. If both teams lose, the Rangers are the champions. So, that's it. It comes down to today. And damn it, as a sports fan, I feel really good about that. I am excited. I'm going to have 2 TVs today.
You need 3 TVs.
I need 3. I should go to one of these big box stores here in town and let's just go. I'll buy one right now. I'll buy $100. I'll go get a nice little TV for $100, set it up. I need all the TVs today. I don't have enough eyes. I don't.
I'll say this though, even though the bats weren't hot at all, only Jose Abreu was the only guy that really showed up, in terms of like batting and runs.
Yeah.
The Astros pitching looked like they did in last year's playoffs.
They're starting to come around a little bit.
Yeah.
Starting to come around a little bit. And,
so that's the only encouraging sign I have right now is that their pitching has looked good this past week.
How do we feel about the bullpen?
I think the bullpen, I don't like, Graveman's very shaky, but Neris and Abreu are nails.
Neris,
sure.
Abreu.
And Maton, 2 scoreless back-to-back days.
Maton, I'm a little
I know. He's gotten better. He's gotten better as season's gone on.
But Neris and Abreu
saved your season last night, I think.
Yeah.
The 8th inning, they had the bases loaded, 1 out, and he just made Ketel Martin look silly with 3 pitches.
You're right. Hector Neris has stepped up this whole past week. And that little incident he had against the Mariners where he pumped up, he was talking crap to Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners and allegedly might have said something of a homophobic slur. No one really knows what he said, but he pumped up the Astros. The Astros ended up getting 3 runs in that bottom half of the inning, and they ended up pretty much routing the Mariners in that game and taking the series from them. So, Hector Neris, shout out to you, man. You are a ball of energy, and every team needs somebody like a Hector Neris on their squad. So today, it's all on the line today. It's all on the line.
Bold take, after like Kyle Tucker and Jordan, I think he's been their 3rd best player.
Ew, I like that.
Overall.
I like that. I can see it because he's been so huge. He has been huge in big, high leverage moments for this Astros team. So there we go. Baseball fun to start the show.
October.
But yeah, it's October the 1st. You're right. It is October the 1st today. I appreciate y'all guys wherever you're at listening. Hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397. Our Cowboys question of the day. It is Cowboys and Patriots game day. What is your biggest Cowboys concern? 361-882-5397. I'll get to your takes when we come back. Coming up next, we got the 9:20 news. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 134. 134. We're with you this morning, 361-882-5397. It's James, it's Aiden, it's Jerry Plemons in the studio. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll recap the college football Saturday slate. The Horns continue to hook them, and Georgia was in a, wait for it, dogfight.
So funny.
They were in a dogfight yesterday. We'll talk college football coming up in 15 minutes. But right now, our question of the day. What is your biggest Cowboys concern? I'm going to my Twitter because I had a couple of people hit me up. our good friend War Eagle is weighing in. He says everything. He says the defense was more than holding its own, but Dak's inability to convert in the red zone is painful. Valid criticism, in my opinion. The Cowboys, in their past 2 games, 3 of 11 in the red zone. The Cowboys, in 3 games played, 6 of 15 total in the red zone. The red zone offense is a big concern. And if you're a Cowboys fan, something to monitor today. How is this team going to convert in the red zone? What happens in the red zone that makes them just a little bit less potent than they normally are? Watch this today. Red zone, you need to get 6 the majority of the time. It's great that you're getting to the red zone. Awesome, right? Good. But now put it in the paint. I need players in that paint, in that end zone, and especially the receivers. And I got more notes on that coming up later in the show. We got Nolan in here. Nolan's weighing in. Nolan says the O-line and tight end.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. Tight end. Ferguson. Are we Ferguson, Hendershot? I mean, these guys are, I don't know.
They're just guys.
The Cowboys don't have a preeminent tight end who's a big body in the red zone like they used to have way back in the day. I know we always go back to the Jason Witten era, but he was that big body who can get touchdowns in the end zone, in the red zone especially. Cowboys don't have that. And today, Jake Ferguson's not even playing. He's out.
Another injury.
He's hurt, yeah. So Hendershot's going to have to be in there. The young rookie Luke Schoonmaker is going to have to probably step up a little bit today also.
Are you saying that Hendershot's going to get a shot?
Maybe.
That was bad, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Boo.
Edwards in here. Edwards says the lack of production from offense. That is his biggest concern with the Cowboys. Now, okay, I get what you're saying, Edward. I think you mean more red zone offense because the offense in general can move the ball. But the lack of a vertical threat in the offense is a concern, in my opinion. I'll add on to what Edward's take is. But good point, Edward. Thanks for getting in. And then our good friend Justin Merrill is in here. 361-882-5397. We always cannot wait until we hear from Justin Merrill. Number 1 Dak Prescott supporter.
Yes.
Here is Justin Merrill's take. Prescott's whole career is full of garbage time numbers and meaningless drives into the red zone. There is Justin Merrill's very intellectual Dak Prescott take. We appreciate you getting in, Justin. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think Dak is a pretty good quarterback, borderline great quarterback, and I don't think his whole career is full of garbage numbers. Come on now. You'll be praising him if he gets you a win. You'll be dirtying his name if he gets you a loss. But that's just some of the fan base that we have here as Cowboys fans. When everything's right, they're kissing your ass. When everything's wrong, boo, you suck. That's it. That's it. That is, I'm not talking about you particularly, Justin. Just some Cowboys fans.
It's a roller coaster ride is what it is.
It really is. It really is. So what is your biggest Cowboys concern? Get it in on the text line, 361-882-5397. Let's go to the 920 news on Keys.
There's a lot of news.
And now the news.
The NBA was actually in the news cycle this past week. Well, it's been in there for about the past couple of weeks because NBA training camps are opening up. The Spurs open up their training camp on Tuesday, and we are the home of the Spurs here, and we will be carrying the Spurs games this year once again on Keys in the new Wembanyama era, right? Well, Damian Lillard has now been traded. Finally, after months of speculation, after all the rumors that he was going to go to the Miami Heat, he was going to be destined for South Beach.
Yep.
Instead, he's going to Milwaukee. And he's going to go play with Giannis Antetokounmpo, forming a dynamic duo, and thus bolstering the Bucks' odds to now they are the favorites in the NBA to win the finals. Dame to the Bucks, reactions, Aiden.
Well, first of all, Alex is very excited as a Bucks fan.
Oh, yes, I forgot. He is a Wisconsinite.
Yeah. I do say this makes him the favorite to come out of the East. You know, Damian Lillard, he's not really a ball like a true point guard. He plays more like a shooting guard style. But I still believe that he's still a dynamic of a scorer to help, especially in crunch time situations. You know, the Bucks last year against the Heat in crunch time.
They didn't have another guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. And Giannis was trying his ass off. But Giannis, for as much of a freak as he is, for as much as he can go off, the Heat had that game plan to limit Giannis. And there wasn't really another dude that they could go to that could take over a game.
And I remember the year the Bucks won the title, Chris Middleton was their clutch guy to hit the clutch shots. But he was injured a couple years ago, but last year he just wasn't making those clutch shots. And
Thoughts on the trade, Jerry Plemons?
Oh, I agree. It's getting a second guy in the Bucks is going to be huge. They did give up a Holiday though, and that's nothing. He was their second best player.
So Portland does receive. It's a three-team trade between Portland, Milwaukee, and the Phoenix Suns. Portland receives Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, and Toumani Camara. They also get a couple of picks along the way. The Suns receive Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson as part of this trade package. So that's the trade particulars. But the one note that I want to bring forth to everybody in here is this comes from Elias Sports, the historical stats record keepers, right? Elias says Lillard and Giannis will become the second teammates in NBA history to play together after each tallying 30 points per game in the prior season. The other duo was Jerry West and Elgin Baylor back in 1962-1963. So both Lillard and Giannis averaged 30 points a game last season. They were only going to be the second duo to join forces together. That is pretty crazy.
I know Miami Heat players and fans were very, especially the Heat players, were super salty about this.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler is claiming some kind of, what was he saying, tampering going on between the Bucks.
As if the Heat weren't doing the same thing. Calm your horses. Y'all are mad because Pat Riley sit there and froze. What does that mean? What is Blood doing? He just sitting there doing nothing.
Check this out. NBA and tampering goes hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly. Let's just be honest. These guys are talking to each other all the damn time. Let's just be real about it, man. All-star games, they're hanging out. Like, they are always trying to form these teams, these alliances, these groups. Jimmy Butler and the Heat players, they're just a little bit salty, in my opinion, that he's now going to be an adversary. And instead of a teammate, he's now going to be a thorn in your side to the Heat, who are the Eastern Conference champions, who did go to the finals last year. Interesting times in the NBA ahead, and the season will be starting pretty soon. And we'll be bringing you some Spurs coverage and all other NBA news as they break. Question of the day: what is your biggest Cowboys concern heading, or as of right now? Yeah, what are you concerned with the most if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan? Hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397. When we come back, we'll recap the college football slate. Hook 'em horns, baby. They got another win. We'll talk to you guys here after the break. Sunday Sports Rush. James, Aiden, and Jerry Plemons with you till 11 o'clock. Coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes.
R.I.P. Michael Gambon, famously known for playing Dumbledore in films 3 through 8 of Harry Potter.
Facts.
Great actor, iconic role,
Very, very iconic. The Dumbledore of my youth.
Yeah, me and I know, Jerry, did you ever watch those films?
No, not really.
Yeah, me and James, well, that was we grew up,
Yeah, we grew up on that. So R.I.P. to Michael Gambon.
A goat.
A big-time goat.
Yes.
And now he's up being the headmaster
of Heaven's Wizardry School.
Yes. He's performing magic tricks now.
We're really good on these tributes, Jerry, as you can tell.
Great job. All right. So we're here. 15 minutes. We'll have a Cowboys rewind when we'll look over that horrendous performance they had from last weekend. But we do have Jerry Plemons in studio. And Jerry, of course, is with Crossroads Clinical Research. Jerry, break it down. What's happening? What's the latest with you guys?
I actually don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about something else.
Okay.
We talked about it a lot yesterday on the Veterans Show.
Sure.
We have a new veterans charity called Coastal Bend Heroes. That's going to make a difference in the lives of veterans in need. So we're doing our launch party on Wednesday at on 3700 Ocean Drive, the HEB house. So if you're we're on the news, listen to Coastal Bend Heroes. That's a new veterans charity. The money we get goes directly toward helping local veterans. So please, if you hear that name, get a chance to donate. We could use your help.
Nice. Okay, cool. And one more time, what was the name of the charity?
It's Coastal Bend Heroes. We're on Facebook. Don't have our webpage yet because we're kind of new.
Yeah.
But if you want to make a difference to the troops, support vets, $20, $25. It's going to
Goes a long way.
Goes a long way.
Yeah.
To helping local veterans here in Corpus Christi.
Awesome job right there. Well, there we go. And of course, hit up Jerry Plemons, very accessible guy. Awesome job, Jerry. Good stuff right there. Let's jump right into our college football recap. Yesterday was a big day in college football. It was week 5. My goodness, we are kind of rolling along here with college football talk. And let's start off how we usually do. Start off with the number 1 ranked team, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
They went down to Auburn. And man, oh man, they escaped. It was a close win.
Yeah.
27-20, Georgia wins. In the last drive, Georgia had a touchdown, a 40-yard touchdown from their tight end, Brock Bowers. It was a dart from Carson Beck.
Man, he looked like a shade of Gronk and Kelsey on that one play, dude.
He really did. He broke through a few defenders, made his way to the end zone. Georgia 27-20. So now Georgia has had a couple of really tough games. They had a tough matchup against South Carolina, but they pulled away from that one. That was a couple of weeks back. And now a tough one against Auburn. Georgia has not looked as dominant as Georgia's teams in the past, but they're still finding ways to win. And they do have a first-year signal caller in Carson Beck. So I understand that.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like the semi-down year for Georgia, and they're still finding a way to win these games.
And next week, Georgia will host an undefeated Kentucky team who put a smackdown on Florida yesterday by 20-plus points.
Very, very surprising. Kentucky's always given Georgia a good game fight the first half, but Georgia usually pulls away and wins, so we'll see.
Number 2 ranked Michigan smacks Nebraska 45-7. J.J. McCarthy had a hand in 3 touchdowns as the Wolverines rout Nebraska.
I believe, is this the last game before Harbaugh comes back?
I believe so. I think Harbaugh does come back next week.
Yeah.
So Michigan wins. Now, the number 3 ranked Texas Longhorns against the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas was supposed to have their dual threat quarterback, Jalen Daniels, but Daniels did not play yesterday.
Asterisk.
He did suffer some back tightness in pregame warmups, and so they held him out, and they ended up starting Jason Bean at their quarterback, who wasn't half bad, but he's not as dynamic as Daniels. Texas gets the victory, 40-14, and it started on the first drive when Quinn Ewers showed his athleticism, and he scrambled into the end zone.
I'm glad we lost. Ewers takes off running. Ewers! He will score! Touchdown!
It was a 30-yard run up the middle. Quinn Ewers looked like young Michael Vick.
You think Ewers is starting to make a little bit of Heisman talk? I don't think he's a front runner, but I think he's starting to.
I think he's starting to. I think what we saw yesterday, what we've seen in the past few weeks, man, what we saw in the Alabama game. This Texas team, the way they're playing, the way they're blowing out their conference opponents, they smacked around Baylor last week. They put down Kansas this week. Big road win against Alabama. Big win against a Wyoming team where they skunked them 21-0 in the fourth quarter. If you ask me right now who is the number 1 team in the nation,
I don't know about that.
Georgia and Michigan have been in the playoffs the past couple
years. You
years.
put Texas on a neutral field against Michigan or Georgia, coin flip game.
No, I don't know about Georgia. Michigan maybe. Michigan probably.
Okay.
But Georgia's a 2-time defending champion, you know.
They are. But Texas has looked good, and it's not even about the offense. It's about the defense. This defense is absolutely incredible.
I mean,
they're flying around. They're making hits. Jalen Catalon yesterday, the safety, was hitting the piss out of people.
Wow.
He was. Okay, was that too much?
The snot.
Snot. Okay, sorry, snot.
Yeah.
My apologies out there. My apologies to whoever's offended. I'm sorry. So there we go. Texas gets the big victory, Jerry, 40-14. Quinn Ewers, I think he's a Heisman candidate. I think he should be going to New York.
He should be in New York. Yes, he should be in the room.
Maybe not win.
But Caleb, I mean, do you see what Caleb did yesterday?
He did fantastic.
That dude could start for half the NFL teams right now and be a huge upgrade, I think.
Texas improves to 5-0, for the first time since 2009. And check out this Texas stat of the day. Texas finished with 661 yards yesterday of total offense, the most in a Big 12 game in school history. The previous high was 658 yards versus a Patrick Mahomes-led Texas Tech team in 2016. So Texas broke a Big 12 record for their own program yesterday with 661 yards. That's awesome. Texas looks great. And next week, they face Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. Red River Shootout, Red River Showdown. I don't even know what they're calling it anymore. But they play Oklahoma next week at the Cotton Bowl. Both undefeated teams.
Oh, I forgot they PC'd the name of the...
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I don't think you could call it Shootout anymore.
Yeah, it's Showdown.
Shootout. I called it Shootout. What's up?
They're usually shootouts. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Be careful. We don't want to get canceled.
Yeah. They're high scoring.
Yeah, high scoring game. There we go.
But we're on Keys. We're fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Our Keys listeners love us. Okay,
Yes.
moving on. Penn State beat Northwestern 41-13. Number 6 Penn State. That was a close game at the half. It was actually tied 10-10 at halftime, but Penn State breaks away.
Is Penn State eventually gonna win the Big Ten? Are they finally gonna break through? They've always been close at times.
Well,
yeah,
we're gonna find out how good
Yeah.
they are eventually because they still got to play Ohio State. They still got to play Michigan.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're gonna get to run through those two teams. And we'll see if Penn State is the real deal or not. Number 7, Washington defeats Arizona 31-24. Close game. Very close game. Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback, had 363 yards passing for the Huskies.
Man, I feel like he's been playing college football for a decade now.
It does, right? He's
Yeah.
one of those dudes where, hey, that guy's still on the roster? What?
I can't top because Oregon has Bo Nix, so.
That's true also.
Yeah.
Jerry brought this one up earlier. USC 48, Colorado 41. USC at one point was up 34-14 and then their defense just started to sell.
Yeah.
Colorado almost makes a miraculous comeback.
I feel this is the game. If Colorado had Travis Hunter, I think they would have beat USC.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think that's a good, because they did need just one more defensive player, one more defensive stop, and I think Travis Hunter might have been that dude to do it.
Even then, even with Travis Hunter, I knew that Colorado would probably lose to Oregon, but I had them beating USC. But after the injury, I said USC's probably going to win by 2 touchdowns. I mean, yeah.
And Jerry, you did mention Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, 403 yards passing, 6 touchdowns passing, 6, and 1 interception. Awesome. I mean, you said it. He's the front runner for the Heisman. I think so. I think so with this performance. Omarion Miller for Colorado had 7 receptions, 196 yards, and 1 touchdown. Dion actually had some things to say. What? No way. Dion actually had some things to say after the game. Dion wants everybody to know, pretty much if you're not with him, you're against him. Here, Dion, right here.
If you can't see what's coming with CU football, you've lost your mind. You just a flat-out hater. If you can't see what's going on and what's going to transpire over the next several months, something's wrong with you.
Okay, is there something wrong with me? Is there?
He's not talking to you. He's talking to the recruits out there in high school that he's knocking on their door in a few months, or the transfers and the transfer.
And I'm not even
That's the message.
I'm not even a Colorado hater, but I wasn't one of these guys who, when Colorado got off to their hot start, their 3-0 start, that said, Colorado can win the Pac-12. Colorado can go to the national championship. There was people out there that were doing that. I said, look, they got Oregon and USC. Come on. Those are 2 probably losses, and they got smacked around for the most part by both of them, especially to Oregon. So I'm not a Dion hater. I love what Dion's doing.
Man,
it's just, I think what I'm hating about this whole situation, I hate the fans who have now latched themselves on the onto Dion. Like, I hate those people.
Because they were nowhere in Colorado last year.
Exactly.
Yeah, Colorado was a ghost college. There was hardly anybody at the game.
I hate the people right now who are pretending they've been lifelong Colorado fans. Like, it's so fake. It's so transparent. Like, I see right through you. It's just one of those things that really is irking me. Love Dion, though. Love what he's doing. Hate those casuals who are just latching on because of the clout that Dion brings, if that's fair to say. Number 9, Oregon defeats Stanford 42-6. The Ducks continue to roll. They're 5-0. And then last night, Notre Dame defeated Duke in a very close game, 21-14. Notre Dame was number 11, Duke was number 17, so a pretty good game at that.
Talk about, I know this was last week, but talk about a gut punch loss against Ohio State.
Oh.
What a gut punch, man.
That was such a good game. I
Yeah.
saw every single minute of that one. I loved it. Alabama rolls 40-17 over Mississippi State.
Bama's starting to play a little bit better the past couple weeks.
Jalen Milroe had 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Now, I still don't think they'll win a championship, but I'm not gonna write them off yet. I think they'll probably lose another game, and then they'll be out of the playoff.
The fact that Saban got essentially bullied into starting those other 2 spares, Ty Simpson and Buckner, over Milroe was fascinating to me because Milroe's your best athlete. Milroe's your best quarterback that you got on that roster, and he should have been playing against USF a couple of weeks back.
Exactly, yeah.
It was an extreme overreaction from Nick Saban and one that he normally does not make, so that's why I was shocked. But thankfully, good sense has got into him, and Milroe is now their quarterback, and they're 2-0 in the SEC. That one loss was the Texas not in conference play, so they still have a chance to make a run at a conference title. Their season is not done by any means. So watch out for Alabama. Watch out for Alabama. Texas A&M, I know they got a big win yesterday over Arkansas, and our good friend Ryan L. wants us to mention that. So shout out to Ryan L. on the text line. He says A&M's defense has only given up 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games ever since their Week 2 loss to Miami, who is very good this year, by the way. Yes, shout out to A&M. They did the thing yesterday. They're bouncing back. They're looking a little bit better. Max Johnson had a good game.
Yeah, but I don't like Weigman being out.
Yeah, that's going to hurt them.
Yeah.
I think if Weigman was still in, they'd have a decent chance to maybe, I wouldn't say run the table, but maybe win the rest of their games except one.
Yeah, because now LSU looks really bad now.
Yeah, and they lost to Ole Miss.
I tanked on that. I picked them to be in the title game with Georgia, and no.
So there we go. That's going to wrap up our college football talk. Look at us. We are some college football people, Jerry Plemons. I love it.
Oh, you were humming the A&M fight song during the break.
Don't, Jerry, stop.
sorry.
I was not. Oh, come on. Some things are not meant for air. Nah, just kidding. All righty, when we come back, though, oh, God. The Cowboys lost to the Cardinals last week. We have our Cowboys Rewind coming up, and we'll give our thoughts on all that. Get in on the text line, 361-882-5397. What is your biggest Cowboys concern? When we come back, we dive into the Cowboys. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Rush News Talk, KEYS. James Espinosa, Adin Ducker, and Jerry Plemons with you. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll continue our NFL discussion. We'll dive into some NFL headlines, some more news and notes as we get you ready for Week 4 of the NFL slate. It is a Cowboys game day. Cowboys and Patriots at 3:25 right here on Keys. So make sure you listen to Babe Laufenberg and Brad Sham.
Turn the TV audio down, turn the radio up. That's what I do every week.
You can listen to Babe and Brad and all the glory that they bring, along with Christi Scales, who's an excellent
great.
sideline reporter. She's always getting those little nuggets that you don't really get from the television broadcasts. So listen to us. Like Jerry said, turn your TV down, turn the radio up, and be with us for Cowboys game day. Pre-game show does start at 2:30, by the way, an hour before kickoff. So there we go. With that being said, let's dive into our Cowboys Rewind, because the Cowboys last week lost to the Arizona Cardinals 28-16. The Cowboys were a 12-point favorite, and then they lost by 12 points. And last week, I knew that we were going to have an issue when this play happened in the first series. Second play of the game, Josh Dobbs breaks a big run.
Challenges if you spend too much time worrying about Micah Parsons. They've got other good players to hurt you.
Here's Dobbs with room to the edge, and Joshua Dobbs gallops down the sideline, makes the cut inside the 30. 43 yards for Joshua Dobbs.
The rush defense was weak. 180 rushing yards were given up to the Arizona Cardinals at halftime.
That was the most they've ever done.
At halftime.
I'm sorry, James. This music just doesn't fit since the Cowboys lost. All right, there you go. That's more like it.
Come on.
Yeah.
So it was 180 yards at halftime. Dobbs, we saw that big long run right there. And yeah, it was a problem for the Cowboys the whole time, Jerry. What were your thoughts? We're rewinding it. Spill it.
So first of all, give the Cardinals some credit here.
Okay.
They coached the hell out of that team.
Jonathan Gannon did a great job.
A great job.
The Cardinals really should be. They could be 3-0. Honestly.
They're much better than we think or the league thought. Especially on defense, what they were doing defensively was a lot of misdirection, a lot of moving the guys around. Dak was sometimes he was wondering what was going on, and the receivers were constantly covered.
Yes,
especially on that pick, which you'll talk about, I'm sure.
Yes, we are going to get to the pick here in a second. Another thing that really caught me off guard, and of course, listening to the people I listen to, reading the articles I read on the Cowboys, etc., just kind of getting myself prepped up, right, and make myself a smarter fan in general. What the Cowboys are tending to do and why defenses are taking advantage of the Cowboys' run defense is because the Cowboys love to play nickel, which is 5 defensive backs, and they love to play dime coverage, which is 6 defensive backs. They play those 2 coverages 90% of the time. So therefore, their defense is always small. A lot of small guys out there, not a lot of big guys up front, right? And teams are running at them, and teams are punishing them because they are playing a smaller defense. They are playing with smaller guys who are less prone to make big tackles, big run-stopping tackles. So that could be a problem. And I think teams are wising up to that a little bit and saying, hey, you want to play small, you want to play fast against us, we're just going to go old-school football and pound your ass.
And the Giants and the Jets didn't get a chance to do that because they were behind so early.
Yes.
And now we're seeing I think those two teams tried to do but didn't get a chance.
Penalties also killed the Cowboys. 13 penalties. 13 for 100-plus yards.
So there were some bad ones, some really bad
Just
ones.
some boneheaded stuff.
Yes.
We talk about the red zone. It's an extreme issue. 3 of 11 in their past 2 games, and 1 of 5 last week against the Cardinals. Not good, Jerry.
Not good.
Things are not working out for the Cowboys in the red zone, especially when they're trying to go vertical.
Kellen Moore, last year, Cowboys were number 1 in red zone. Now they're close to the last. So I don't want to say they miss him, but they miss him there for sure.
I think they miss some of his creativity.
Creativity, maybe.
Mike McCarthy seems to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mike McCarthy's becoming a little bit more conservative in the red zone because last week he didn't have his 3 offensive linemen. Maybe he doesn't trust Dak as much to make the throws downfield.
I mean, I wouldn't trust Dak after the interception. We have the audio right here.
We do have the audio. So the Cowboys were driving down. Mind you, they're down 12, but they do need a touchdown. There's 3 minutes and change. Mind you, the Cowboys offense was not even showing any urgency. They ran 5 straight runs. They killed about 2 minutes off the clock. That's another questionable thing that happened last week with Mike McCarthy. But then it was time to take a throw to the end zone. And this comes courtesy of the Cowboys Radio Network. Dak Prescott just absolutely threw one of the worst interceptions of his career. Here is the audio right here.
Cowboys are going to run out of time. I don't mean for this touchdown, but they got to figure out a way to get the ball back.
Yeah.
They got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. But
wow. This is an unusual, interesting selection of plays. 3rd and goal at the 6, but it's 2 down territory. Snap is back. Prescott looking. Now he's throwing in the end zone. It's intercepted. Kazir White intercepted it on the pass to the post and takes a knee for a touchback. First turnover of the year for the Cowboys, and the Cardinals have it back with a 12-point lead.
Former Eagle Kazir White.
Yeah, former Eagle. And
who followed Jonathan Gannon to Arizona, and now,
And if you look at the replay, if you look at the still shots.
Not pretty.
3 Cardinals surrounding Brandon Cooks with the linebacker who's playing a robber type of coverage, which means he's playing underneath, looking to kind of drop back into coverage, almost, like a sneak attack, so to speak. Looks like he's going to come forward in a pass rush, but then he drops back, right? Playing coverage. Dak didn't see him. Obviously
missed him.
Did not see him and threw it right to him. And even
because you could tell, like, Dak saw the 2 back-end DBs and he wanted to thread the needle in there, but he just didn't see the linebacker.
But even the throw from Dak didn't even look like it had any zip on it. It looked like he was just going to be able to just loft it right over him. Didn't. Threw it right to him. And there we go. Just quick Cowboys Rewind. A lot that went wrong. And a crazy stat that we have. The Cowboys and their receivers in the red zone. The Cowboys have run 60 red zone plays in 3 games. Cooks, Lamb, and Gallup only have 6 targets in 60 red zone plays for a total of 0 receptions. The receivers have 0 receptions in 60 red zone plays. What is going on? Fix it, Mike McCarthy. Get the ball to your playmakers, Dak Prescott.
Okay, let's, we got like 4 minutes to just.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to settle down.
You're good.
We're going to talk some NFL coming up next. It's NFL Headlines. You're listening to News Talk KEYS. We are Corpus Christi. We're in the Americana Arms Studios. All that good stuff. Hour 2 is coming up after the break. Good morning, Corpus Christi, Coastal Bend, listeners worldwide. It's hour number 2 of the Sunday Sports Rush right here on News Talk KEYS, 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. I am your host, James Espinosa, joined alongside co-host, producer, my good friend, Adin Ducker.
Cougars, I love Cougars.
We have Jerry Plemons in the studio of Crossroads Clinical Research. Jerry, what's up?
Oh, just too much going on.
There's too much going on.
Much.
Jerry, you're rocking your Cowboys Columbia gear. I like that. Looking nice and
You got your
sharp.
Breggy bombs.
Yeah, I do. I'm
your
repping
Astros.
the Astros today after they clinched their playoff berth last night. They're going for a division title today if the Rangers lose and if the Astros win.
I'm repping Tio Salamanca.
Shout out. R.I.P.
Yeah.
T.O. That one still hurts.
Yeah, that one hurts. Yeah.
That one still hurts.
Jerry, you heard about that, right? Like a month ago, Marco
Yeah,
Golos
that he passed. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one did hurt, yes.
We're here with you till 11 o'clock. We got a lot of football to discuss. And before the last segment, I started to kind of get ramped up because I had a crazy stat for the Cowboys. And I want to reiterate this for those who are just tuning in. The crazy stat of the day for the Dallas Cowboys is this. Out of 60 red zone plays, 60 in 3 games, in 15 red zone trips, 60 red zone plays. Cooks, Lamb, Gallup have a total of 6 targets and 0 receptions. It's an issue when you cannot get your playmakers the ball in the red zone. It's an issue when guys like CeeDee Lamb are in the end zone not getting open or in the red zone not getting open. Gallup as well, Cooks as well. And then last week, this is kind of continuing a little bit of our Cowboys Rewind because I wanted to get to this part. Last week, CeeDee Lamb had that one-on-one fade route in the end zone, and it didn't even look like he went up for the ball. It looked like he was clamoring for a flag. The flag never came, and CeeDee Lamb didn't even show any damn fight to go get that ball. If you are going to get paid like a number 1 wide receiver, you need to start winning some one-on-one matchups in the red zone if you're going to be getting that big contract eventually. If not, then you're just another receiver. You're a number 2 at best. Number 1s need to be winning in the red zone. And CeeDee Lamb, he doesn't win in the red zone too often. He's not a Des Bryant in the red zone, not a big body. He's a slider build. I get that. He does have some hops, though. I've seen him go up and grab footballs. I've seen him beat defenders, but it doesn't happen too often. I need it to happen more often if I'm CeeDee Lamb and if I'm the Cowboys and if you really want to put the number 1 contract on him going forward.
Yeah, the red zone offense has been very predictable. It's been give the ball to Tony Pollard a couple times and throw it to a tight end.
Yeah, exactly. Little bit too predictable.
A little bit too predictable, yes.
Little bit too predictable. And this is also another crazy Cowboy stat. The last time a Cowboys wide receiver scored a touchdown in an NFL game was in the Bucs playoff victory last year. The Cowboys wide receivers have not scored a touchdown in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games now. That is insane.
That's the most shocking stat of all.
How are the wide receivers not scoring touchdowns? Since the Bucs playoff victory, no wide receiver has hit the end zone for the Cowboys. That is shocking. That's shocking. That is just a crazy stat right there. Interesting. 361-882-5397. What is your number 1 concern with the Dallas Cowboys right now? I will get to you. Send them in. I want to hear from you. Let's go ahead, and we're going to dive into some NFL. Let's get some NFL headlines going because there is a game happening in London right now. Early start And right now in London, it's Jaguars 17, Falcons 0. They're in the third quarter with about 12 minutes and change in the third. 17-0. I know Calvin Ridley got a big touchdown. Who else has scored? They got a 56-yard field goal from Brandon McManus. Oh, and they had a 61-yard pick six from Darius Williams.
Yeah, Desmond Ritter's not that good.
Yeah.
I think the Desmond Ridder experiment, man, I'm not. I've seen him play, willing to give him a chance, but he just doesn't look great.
Hey, Christian Kirk, 6 catches, 71 yards. He's
Nice.
pacing right now on my team.
I think the Falcons would be better suited if they were to start to play Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
At least Taylor Heineke, you know, he's won NFL games. He has experience. I liked him with the Commanders. He was okay.
Kyle Pitts has only been targeted 2 times, 1 catch, 8 yards.
It's not great. Not a lot of good things happening out there for them. Let's see. What else happened this past week in the NFL? The Dolphins dropped 70 points on the Denver Broncos. Wow. Wow.
They could have broken the record if they wanted to.
If they wanted to. You don't see that ever in the NFL, especially 70 points. It was just an offensive onslaught. The Broncos looked pathetic. Sean Payton, who's supposed to be this football savant, Sean Payton, who everybody claims invented the game of football. He's so great. Oh my God, Sean Payton, who took the Saints from the freaking trash can, brought them 1 Super Bowl. Sean Payton, this and that. Just got 70 dumped on your head. Sean Payton, the same guy who crapped on the last Denver Broncos coaching staff for not doing too well.
Yeah.
Guess what? That coaching staff never got 70 dropped on their head. You did.
Yeah, and what's up with the defense? I know Sean Payton's an offensive coach, but you're so responsible for the coaching staff you bring in. How Vance Joseph is not fired boggles my mind.
Guess how much yards the Dolphins put up last week? Total yards.
I think 600?
No.
700.
726 total yards of offense.
I think it was the first time there was a receiver. First time in NFL history there was a 300-yard passer, a 200-yard runner, and a 150-yard receiver.
The Dolphins
in a game.
had 30 first downs.
Yeah, those 700-plus yards, they were half and half rushing and receiving. That's the other crazy part.
I know Tua's in MVP talks, but that whole offense is good.
They're good, man. They're good.
Even Raheem Mostert in the running game, like, the Dolphins have speed, man, but we saw this Dolphins team start out 3-0.
That's true.
Last year, Tua actually had the same stats he did last year. And then the injuries happened and whatnot. So the Dolphins look good, but it's still the first month of the season. I'm not going to buy into them completely. We haven't seen Tua in the playoffs yet. So
a lot of people are saying Dolphins are the number 1 team in the AFC. Dolphins are gonna take over the Chiefs for the number 1 spot. There's a lot of hype around the Dolphins, and I'm the same with you. I'm not necessarily saying that they're the number 1 team in the AFC, but as of right now, they're playing very formidable. And if you give me a Chiefs and Dolphins matchup in the playoffs, yeah, I'd love that. I would salivate over that because that could be very fun. Very fun.
Are the Chiefs and Dolphins playing in London?
I'm not too sure. I would have to look at the schedule. Off the top of my head, I'm not too sure. Getting back to the Dolphins and the Broncos game, because Sean Payton, after the game, was being questioned by the media, and he didn't like the line of questioning. And they were asking him just simple questions, historically speaking, this is one of the worst losses ever, all that good stuff. You got, how did it happen? 70 points, this and that. What do you got to say? Sean Payton, for as much as he's getting paid, $20 million a season to try to save this Broncos franchise, can't even answer a simple question. Instead, has to act like a little baby to a reporter, talking like this to a grown man who's just trying to do his job. Here's Sean Payton acting like a complete punk in the postgame.
I know that you said it's embarrassing, but this is kind of an historic game.
I'm more.
Third time the team has scored 70 points over 7.
What's the question? What's the
How do
question?
you feel about it being
I just finished telling you.
Historically embarrassing.
Next question.
God. Come on, Sean Payton.
I mean,
you want to talk the smack? You want to talk the smack before the season about how the past coaching staff couldn't get there was too many hands around Russell Wilson, and then you get 70 dropped on your head and you can't handle it like a big boy? You can't put on your big boy pants and handle that question?
My main thing, it's so weird because the Broncos growing up, they've always been a team that's never been bad. Like, if they miss the playoffs, they usually miss with like an 8-8 record. They've always, under Pat Bowlen, they've always been a strong franchise.
Under the old ownership.
Yeah.
Now they have the new ownership, the Waltons.
And the Waltons, they're new, but they actually spent money on the team.
Yeah, they're trying.
They're trying.
They traded 3 picks for Sean Payton. First round, they get a second rounder this year. They got to pay.
But is this roster good enough? And I know the coaching staff isn't good enough.
Russ Wilson, they've got.
That is tough.
It actually hasn't been. Russ has had his issues in Denver so far, but it hasn't been completely his fault. It's been that defense this year, at least.
Yeah, it has.
And why would you bring back Vance? Why would you bring in Vance Joseph, who used to be the head coach of the Broncos, who got fired because his defenses weren't up to par?
Because he's having the time of his life. Shout out Sergio Dip.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, I remember. Yeah, now.
Interesting times. We'll see what happens with the Broncos because the Broncos play the Bears today.
Oh man, that's gonna be That's
gonna be one of the games we pick in NFL Pick'em coming up at 10:30. So make sure you guys listening out there stick around for that. We got a ton of NFL coming up. Let's move on. I want to shout out another Texas quarterback who has been doing really well for the Texans. It is C.J. Stroud, the rookie. Man, I was a little bit questionable about C.J. Stroud coming into the season because typically Ohio State quarterbacks will Ohio State quarterback in the NFL and not do too well. But C.J. Stroud has looked really good. C.J. Stroud is the first quarterback in NFL history to have the following stats in his first 3 career starts. Over 900 passing yards, over 4+ passing touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. C.J. Stroud has the Texans looking tough. The Texans aren't an easy out anymore. And now that DeMeco's in there, DeMeco Ryans, that defense looks a little bit more formidable. Will Anderson is doing a good job as a rookie on defense. They got a lot of dudes. Derek Stingley Jr. at corner.
They also have a lot of injuries that are still.
That's true, but
he's looked poised. He's going to have his rookie moments here and there, which is.
I'm impressed.
But he's looked very poised.
Your thoughts, Jerry, on the young C.J. Stroud?
Yeah, he's ended up being the best of the big 3 quarterbacks that have been taken, and Tank Dell was one of the receivers they added. He's
another rookie.
Him and Nico Collins, they've got some decent targets out there.
They do.
You got super lucky, James.
And Dalton Schultz has not really done
Dalton Schultz
much.
Hasn't showed up yet. Not yet. Hopefully soon.
Maybe
I don't know if
he's had a couple touchdown drops this season.
Yeah, not too good for the former Cowboy so far out there. But C.J. Stroud has looked impressive, and today the Texans will have a chance against the Steelers.
I think they would have a good chance.
And that's going to be another game that we pick during NFL Pick'em.
You got so lucky on the Tank Dell fantasy waiver thing.
I picked up Tank Dell.
That was such a shot in the dark.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Nobody
was,
saw that coming.
I did because I picked him up.
I know, but that was.
I did obviously because I know how to GM. All right.
Yeah. You haven't even won your own league. You haven't even won a championship.
I'm worried about my next opponent.
Yeah.
All right. That is all I'm worried about. I'm not looking at championship.
One game at a time.
One game at a time, baby. That's me. All right. That does it for our NFL headlines. Because I want to dive into Cowboys and Patriots, and we need a lot of time on Cowboys and Patriots. We're gonna break it down for you next. We got our Scouting the Patriots report. It's Cowboys, it's Patriots game day, 3:25 right here on News Talk KEYS with a 2:30 pregame. But guess what? We're your unofficial pregame to the pregame for Cowboys and Patriots. So we got Cowboys and Patriots talk coming up next. Get in on the text line 361-882-5397. Sunday Sports Rush. James, Aiden, and Jerry with you all the way till 11 o'clock. Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll pick some NFL games for this Week 4 slate with our NFL Pick'em competition. Right now, though, let's dive right on in. We're scouting the Patriots. It's Cowboys and Patriots. 3:25 going down right here on News Talk KEYS. Quick injury news. Tyron Smith has been ruled out. Smith, after today, will have missed 34 games since 2020. That's 2 complete seasons in 3 years.
Sky is blue, water's wet.
I hate that it has to be like that, but it kind of is, right? It kind of is. Sky is blue, water's wet. That's the perfect way to sum it up, Aiden.
Yeah.
Smith is out. Another interesting note about this, the starting offensive line of Tyron Smith, Tyler Biotish, Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele have yet to play a single snap together. Ever. That's wild.
Ever. Yeah.
That's wild to think about. Jerry, a quick correction. It was not Jake Ferguson who's going to be questionable today. It is Peyton Hendershot. So Peyton Hendershot is questionable for today's game. The Cowboys did activate tight end Sean McKeon from the practice squad. So it looks like Hendershot will probably be
but they're
out.
the same guy, essentially.
He shot, basically.
Same dude.
Yeah. I got all the good ones in today, huh?
It's Cowboys and Patriots. The Patriots have won 6 of the last 7 meetings, but the Cowboys did win back in 2021, 35-29 in overtime, the CeeDee Lamb overtime catch. I'm expecting a low-scoring game between these two teams. The Patriots have a really good defense, all right? Their rushing defense is ranked 9th. Their passing defense is ranked 5th. Their total defense is ranked 5th overall. They give up 270 yards per game. What we know about Bill Belichick, guys, he's good at taking away the strength of a team. And the Cowboys' strength thus far has been the offense, with a rushing attack that has averaged 147 yards per game. So I would expect Bill Belichick to load the box, try to take away the run, and then eventually try to bait Dak Prescott and company into some very questionable and tight throw situations.
That's exactly what he's going to do. They got their young rookie cornerback Christian Gonzalez. I think he's going to be a factor.
Ooh. Right now he's leading candidate for defensive rookie of the year.
I believe he is.
Him against CeeDee Lamb, him against Cooks, him lined up on Gallup. That matchup will be one to watch. And he's a DFW guy. Went to school up there in Dallas for high school, at least. He's making his return home, so that's gonna be pretty fun to watch right there.
Yeah, and I've always said Belichick's defense and special teams, they're gonna get the Pats like 7 or 8 games won off of that. It's just this year, it's been the same story the past few seasons. For how speedy the Dolphins' offense is, the exact opposite is the Patriots' offense. Hardly any speed there. A bunch of completely slow.
Yeah,
not very explosive.
They don't have the game breakers. And then another storyline, and how could I forget this one?
The big one.
The return of Zeke Elliott to Dallas.
Oh, I mean.
Guys, will Zeke get into the end zone today? Make your prediction now. Does Zeke score?
That's hard because the Patriots have hardly been getting into the end zone at all this year.
You're right. They are 26th in scoring offense. They average 17 points per game.
I mean, for every great coach there's been, you still need an elite quarterback to win.
I'm going to make a bold proclamation. Zeke Elliott does get into the end zone today.
Yeah, I think he does too.
And there's going to be some kind of goal line situation. Zeke will get in, and then Zeke will thus do the eating sign. It's going to happen today. Zeke gets in the end zone.
Are they in Dallas or in New England?
They are in Dallas.
Okay.
This game is in Dallas, where the Cowboys have won 9 straight home games. So it's kind of weird to say, but AT&T Stadium kind of turning into a little bit of a fortress. And they've won 9 straight home games. That's pretty impressive, I'd say, for the Cowboys. And that's a stadium that's not known to be a home field advantage because, it's not made for football and this and that.
I can't wait for late in the year whenever, as the seasons change, that sunlight is going to be,
I'm just saying, the Cowboys have won 9 in a row there, no matter how you want to slice it. So we'll see if they can get 10 in a row today. What to watch for in this game? It's very fair to be concerned about the red zone, and it's time to see some progress. As I've said over and over, 60 plays in the red zone. No other team has more than 37 plays in the red zone, and the NFL average is 28 plays in the red zone thus far to date. So the Cowboys are doing a real good job of getting there. They're just not doing a good job of scoring touchdowns.
Well, they supposedly spent a lot of their practice time on the red zone, and
let's hope.
Let's see if it carries over.
Mike McCarthy calling plays. Watch this today. Needs to be not so conservative and let it rip. Make this offense vertical instead of horizontal.
He said at the beginning of the year that's what he's going to do. Why is he going to abandon it all of a sudden?
Well, I would just like to see more verticality down the field because if you're not stretching the field, then guess what? These defensive backs know you're going to be throwing real short, real quick routes, and they're going to sit on them. And receivers are going to be blanketed. you got to stretch the defense to at least keep them honest. At least show that you have that capability, Mike McCarthy.
I think Brandon Cooks is the guy they brought in to do just that, and we haven't seen enough of him this year, or just he hasn't performed. I don't know.
They haven't been getting the ball to him.
Yeah.
Have not been getting the ball to him. Matchup to watch. Matthew Judon versus Chuma Adoga. The pass rushing specialist for the Patriots against the backup left tackle who did give up 2 sacks last week to the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that matchup. It won't be hard to miss Matthew Judon. He wears the red sleeves. He always wears the red sleeves no matter what. He'll be out there rushing Dak and probably causing some pressure on Dak Prescott throughout the duration of this game. You mentioned Cooks, Jerry. You got to get him going. Got to try to take a deep shot. Try to open up the top. And then we already mentioned Christian Gonzalez. He does have an interception, a sack, and he has a number of splash plays. And they love to move him around. They love to match him up against a lot of guys, and they love to bring him on blitzes, too. He's an all-around outstanding player.
I'm personally rooting for Christian Gonzalez because he represents us Latinos. Yeah. Okay.
We did talk about the Patriots' lack of offense. They are 29th in explosive plays. They're 24th in points per, and they are 28th in points per drive. And so the offense for the Patriots is horrid.
It is horrid.
They've been in every game this year so far, though, so I expect this to be a very tight game.
What the Patriots will need to do to win today is probably either get a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown.
The Patriots also got to avoid. They've had a couple of bad starts against the Dolphins and the Eagles. They need to avoid to get in that hole. That's what the Cowboys need to do. Get up a couple possessions. Put the pressure on the Patriots.
I'm gonna make my prediction. Cowboys have won nine straight home games dating back to last season. That is the longest active home win streak in the NFL. Cowboys win today, but it's going to be very close. Give me Cowboys 20, Patriots 14.
There's another impressive stat the Cowboys have, in that they don't lose 2 games in a row under Mike McCarthy.
That's true
they
also.
They always come back.
They have a bounce-back game.
They always have this is going to be a bounce-back game. I think the Cowboys handle it pretty easy. I say 27-13.
Okay.
Give me Cowboys 20, Patriots 17.
Ooh, all right. So there we go. We all got the Cowboys winning. What is your prediction out there? 361-882-5397. Who wins, Cowboys or the Patriots? Hit us up on the text line. We want to hear from you out there. All right.
Gen Z's going to call.
Coming up next, Alex Gen Z Weister will be on the line, and we will be making our NFL picks. It's NFL Pick'em coming up next. Get your takes into the text line, 361-882-5397. The Sunday Sports Rush rolls on. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 134. James Espinosa, Adin Ducker, and Jerry Plemons is with us this morning. Shout out to everybody who has listened. Shout out to everybody who's gotten in on the text line. Let me shout those guys out real quick. Edward has a Cowboys prediction. He says Cowboys 12, Patriots 3. Nothing but field goals.
Wouldn't be shocked at all.
Ryan L's back in here. He says the biggest Cowboy concern is going to be injuries. Agreed. So far, injuries have played an ugly toll on the Cowboys. Unfortunate, but that's the game that they play. He also adds that the Toy Story NFL game is quite interesting this morning between the Falcons and Jaguars. They're being animated on Toy Story style on Disney. It's on Twitter or X. Sorry. Look it up. All right. With that being said, we do have Alex Weister on the line calling in from the DFW. Welcome, Alex.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, we're doing good, man. We're ready to pick some NFL games. And let me just go over the standings. And then let me go over how we each did last week. So here are the current standings. Marcos is in first place with 23 wins.
Yeah.
Alex, you are in second with 19 wins. I am in third with 17. And then Adin, who had a horrendous week last week, is in last place with 16 overall wins.
This is the first time in the history of Pick'em I've been in the last place spot.
I was
Ever.
I was 10-2 last week. Marcos was 10-2 last week.
Unprecedented territory.
Alex, you went 500 at 5-5, and Adin, you were 6-4, so not too bad.
Y'all just out. I mean, I wasn't that bad. It was y'all just out-picked me.
Yeah, we out-picked you. And today we do have Jerry Plemons with us, so Jerry's going to be our guest picker. And are we ready to get started?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's pick some games. The first game on the docket. Now, Alex, I got to preface this because Marcos is not here. Marcos sends his picks in. Marcos.
Gotcha.
Well, Marcos is going to make the first pick here. And Marcos picked the Dolphins, and he picked them as his upset pick.
Well, it makes it easy for me. I can mark that off as one of my upsets that I got.
I'm going to start with you, Alex. Who do you got? It's Dolphins at Bills. The Dolphins, I'm looking at it right now. The Dolphins are a 2.5-point underdog to the Bills in Buffalo. This is a 12 o'clock kickoff. 3-0 Dolphins at 2-1 Bills.
I think you got to ride the hot hand with the Dolphins at this point. Regardless, in all honesty, I'm okay with whoever wins this game. I'm okay with losing the pick for this. I think it's going to be a fantastic game to watch. But I'm going to ride the hot hand and go with the Dolphins.
All right, let's go with Jerry Plemons. Jerry's our guest picker. Who do you got, Dolphins or Bills?
I think the Bills have equally hot a hand, and I don't think the Dolphins, they score 70. It's hard to bring that back the next week and keep your focus. So
Do they have enough juice?
Yeah, I think the Bills will take it.
Did they shoot their shot?
They shot their shot.
A little bit too early. Aiden, who do you got, Bills or Dolphins?
It's simply because it's in Buffalo and the Dolphins lost there last season. Give me the Bills in this one.
This is a tough one because
Bills by a touchdown.
I'm starting to buy Dolphin hype. I really am. I do like Mike McDaniel. I do like Tua. I just love everything about them. I love the swagger of the Dolphins. There's something about when Miami's good, it just brings a rejuvenance to the NFL.
And they're not overly boisterous as well. Like, even Tyrese kind of held it back a little bit with the chatter.
I don't know. Did you see their touchdown celebration last week where they busted out an entire team dance?
I mean, it hasn't been that bad. Well, they put up 70 against the Broncos. The Broncos honestly been the
Did you see when Tyreek Hill jumped into the crowd and started dancing with the fans?
Now you're making... dude.
He did that last week. Okay, anyways. Damn it. This is a tough one, guys. I'm feeling it. I'm going Dolphins. I'm going Dolphins on the road. I think this is a patented Josh Allen. I'm going to make multiple turnovers in this game type of situation. Give me the Dolphins. All right, next game on the docket. And this one is real interesting because there was some recent news that just dropped on this one. Ravens are a 2-point underdog to the Browns on the road in Cleveland, and Deshaun Watson, according to reports, is out. He is inactive today. Who wants this one? The Ravens have a ton of injuries also.
Yes.
Alex, go ahead.
I'm not going to take it as my upset, but I am going to take the Ravens. Initially, I did have the Browns marked down until I saw that Deshaun Watson was out, and I sort of sat there and thought about it a little bit, and I'm just going to have to ride with the Ravens. You know, I'll gladly take this as being wrong, but, I mean, I love the Ravens. I got to go with them.
All righty. Aiden, go ahead.
Give me the Ravens. I think they're going to be frustrated after that loss against the Colts, and I think they're going to bounce back and beat the Browns.
Okay.
Browns have a really good defense, but I still have questions about their offense. And now with Deshaun Watson being out, I think it's going to be kind of a too much to handle.
Too much to handle right there. Jerry Plemons, who do you got?
I think it's tougher than you think because the Browns' defense has been playing so amazing. But starting a rookie quarterback, losing Nick Chubb, I just don't see how the Browns will get us good enough point that the Ravens will take it.
Okay, so you got the Ravens as well. Marcos picked the Browns. Mind you, he sent me his picks prior to the Deshaun Watson news, but his picks are locked in. Marcos picked the Browns. I am going to pick the Ravens. And guys, y'all made this one too easy for me. This is my upset pick of the week. Ravens over Browns.
Wait, it says the Ravens are 2-point favorite.
I see the Ravens as 2 points.
What? No.
I see the Ravens as 2
Time
out.
out.
That line swung.
Wait, time out. Oh, wow. Baltimore is the favorite. Okay.
Yeah, it swung.
Damn it. Damn it. I thought
it was Cleveland. Cleveland was a 1-point favorite, and then the Deshaun Watson happened, and it changed.
Dude, I was sitting here like, why aren't any of these guys picking the Ravens as the upset pick? I was like, there's no way y'all let this fall to me. Okay, well, I picked the Ravens regardless. All right, moving on. We got the Steelers at the Texans. The Steelers are a 3-point favorite on the road. Steelers are 2-1. Texans 1-2. The Texans are showing a lot of fight. We talked about C.J. Stroud earlier. They went into Jacksonville last week, and quite frankly, they destroyed the Jaguars last week. I love what I'm seeing out of CJ. I love what I'm seeing out of the Steelers. I'm going to go ahead and toss this to Aiden.
All right, I don't see the Steelers as a 3-1 team. Give me the Texans upset.
Oh, the Texans. And guess what? Today is Battle Red Day in Houston. And guess what? Today they are inducting J.J. Watt into their Hall of Fame or whatever they have over there.
I was shocked Marcos didn't pick this as his upset pick. I was expecting that to happen. So,
Marcos did
I kind of agree with that, yeah.
Marcos did pick the Texans to win, though.
Yeah.
So we got his pick out the way. Let's go with Jerry Plemons. Who do you got, Texans or Steelers?
I agree with that logic. I think the Texans are starting to show something. D'Amico Ryans is a great coach. I think Texans.
All right, Alex?
I'm going to take the Texans as well. I did have them as one of my upset picks, but Aiden beat me to it.
Oh, okay. And you know what? I feel the Texans. It's a clean sweep. We're all going Texans. So guess what that means? The Steelers are about to win. So a clean sweep from us. We got Texans over Steelers. Now, let's get to a game that I threw on here. Both of these teams are horrendous. Both of these teams are 0-3. This is a 12 o'clock game on CBS. But I put it on here because the point spread is pretty close. It is Broncos at Bears. The Broncos are a 3-point favorite on the road. Do the Bears have what it takes as a home underdog to get the win? I want to hear Alex Weister's thoughts on this first. Broncos at Bears.
They always say that somebody has to win, and I wish I truly did have the balls to call this a tie, but I don't. I think the Broncos under Sean Payton, that was probably a very, very ugly week at practice. I think the Broncos are going to come out better this week and beat a very, very bad Bears team.
Are you feeling dangerous, I suppose?
No, I'm not. I don't feel confident with this game in the slightest, but, hey, they say somebody has to win.
Marcos ends up picking the Broncos, just to get that out there. Jerry Plemons, go for it.
I think the Broncos have more talent, even though we didn't see it last week, than the Bears. So I'm just going to go based on that. I think the Broncos will cover.
Aiden, Broncos or Bears?
Oh, man. Give me the Broncos in the slightest because I think their offense is like the best thing out of both teams, at least, I could say.
Okay.
So, James, you're smiling. I know you're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm picking the Bears at home in my upset special. The Bears are going to do it.
No way.
Justin Fields is going to get going today. There's going to be some kind of craziness happening in Chicago. The Bears will get a special teams touchdown. Something wacky is going to happen.
You think the Broncos defense is going to sell?
Yeah, something's going to happen, and Justin Fields is going to have a really good day today. Give me the Bears in my upset special. That's it.
Wow.
Let's go. Let's go. Bear down, baby. Bear down.
Your shirt does have Bears colors on it.
It does. Next game up. We got the 1-2 Bengals at the 1-2 Titans, and the Bengals are a 2.5-point favorite in Tennessee. Aiden, go for it.
I'm not high on this Titans team at all. I have them finish with 7 wins, so give me the Bengals.
Bengals offense has been
I think that was a really huge win against the Rams on Monday night. I think that's gonna ignite their season again.
Alex, who do you got, Bengals or Titans?
The Titans, they have one of the worst pass defense units in the entire league. I think this is that game where Joe Burrow really starts to go and get himself, if he's healthy and trying to get back. I mean, the injury concerns are there. They're real. But the Titans are just so bad at pass defending, I can't take them to win it. I'm going Bengals.
All righty. Jerry Plemons, who do you got, Bengals or Titans?
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to call something very specific here.
Go for it.
That Burrow's calf finally burst.
Whoa!
Wow! The year.
Wow!
The Titans will win because the Bengals can't recover from that.
You think you're gonna put an upset pick on it?
And I'll put my upset special, sure, why not?
All right.
Yeah, okay.
So Jerry has the Titans as his upset
Only
special.
Burrow's, that calf is hanging on by a thread.
And he also has the very macabre prediction that Joe Burrow's calf is going to explode on the field.
Finally, yeah.
Finally.
Wow. He's been bugging him all year. He's been...
Jeez, it's like the Kevin Durant situation.
That has been very risky, the Bengals, what they've been
I'm
doing.
scared, man. I'm scared about that one. I do like the Titans' defense. I think the Titans have a very good defense. They're at home. Man, I don't know, man. I haven't been able to trust the Bengals as of late. I'm gonna go Titans at home in this game. I think Titans win at home. Gonna be a close game. Titans pull it out at the end. The defense makes one more play than the Bengals can make. Next game, this involves the Saints, Alex. It's Bucks at Saints, and what is a pretty good early season showdown in the NFC South. The Bucks are 2-1 at the Saints, who are 2-1. The Saints are a 4-point home favorite. Alex Weister, you are the Saints fan. You know this team like the back of your hand. Break it down. Bucks at Saints. Who do you got?
So this is going to be some uncharted territory for me. The Saints are dealing with some pretty significant injuries. An already pretty bad offensive line is beat up. Our secondary is beat up. We're getting Kamara back, but we have Derek Carr under center. I don't know how good his shoulder is. He's set to play today.
No, I thought he was out.
And what's the latest on Carr? Is Carr playing or not? Because I've seen multiple different reports.
From what I've seen, he is slated to play. I don't know if he re-aggravates it and Jameis comes in, but I leave this all to say I do have this as a Bucs upset.
Oh, okay.
Really?
So is this your upset special?
Indeed it is.
Wow.
I'm not too thrilled with how the Saints have played. The run defense is still there. The pass defense showed up, but was still a little bit shaky and ended up selling in the game against Green Bay. I'm just scared for this game, in all honesty, and I think this is a game where the Saints come out, they show up flat, and the Bucs end up taking it from us.
Interesting. And according to Ian Rappaport, Derek Carr is active, so he is playing this game. All righty, so Alex has the Bucs. Let's go with Aiden. Who do you got?
I had the Saints as a 10-win team. Give me the Saints.
Okay.
Derek Carr's coming back, and I think Kamara's going to ignite that offense a little bit.
Kamara's back. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah,
he is back.
Hopefully he stays away from kicking people and whatnot. So.
Jerry Plemons, who do you got in this one?
I'm going to listen to the Saints expert here because I kind of agree with him. I think the Saints are going to have a hard time with that Tampa defense, and Tampa was one of my surprise teams for the year, so I think Tampa takes it.
I think Tampa takes it, too. I think this is a pretty big win for Todd Bowles and company. I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a decent game, and like everybody has said, the Bucs defense is still pretty strong. I really like what they're doing. I think if they win this game, they're the favorites to win the NFC South. This is a big pivotal matchup early on in the year. I just like the Bucs a little bit more. Give me the Bucs. We already picked the Cowboys, Alex. We all picked the Cowboys to win, relatively close.
Yes.
Who do you have in the Cowboys game?
I'm going to take Cowboys 24-17.
All right, 24-17, close game. We also had very similar scores. I had a close win, 20-14. Aiden had a 20-17 Cowboys win, and Jerry had 27-13, a double-digit win. So we're all on the Cowboys today. Let's see what happens. Last game to pick. It's Monday Night Football. It is the Seahawks at the Giants. But this one is interesting because the Seahawks are only a 1.5-point favorite on the road in New York. Vegas thinks this is going to be a closer game than maybe a lot of us think. Giants are 1-2. Seahawks are 2-1. Start with you, Alex Weister.
From all of the rumors that we're hearing about Saquon, he's not going to play. Brian Daboll, he does this. He plays mind games against the opponent. Saquon's not going to play. Andrew Thomas is not going to play. They have nothing on offense. Daniel Jones has not been great. The offensive line is bad. The only weapon they have is Darren Waller, and they can hardly get him the ball. I see nothing but a Seahawks win here.
Okay, so you're going with the Seahawks, Aiden.
I'm going with Seahawks as well. I'm not high on the Giants. I'm not high on the Seahawks either, but I think they're a little bit better than the Giants.
All righty, Jerry Plemons.
No, exactly what Aiden just said. I'm not Seahawks at the penalty, but picked them to do a lot this year, and so far I haven't seen very much out of them, but they're still better than the Giants.
Okay, so you think they pull it off against the Giants. I'm going Seahawks also, and this kind of makes me nervous that we're all going Seahawks, and it's on the road, all that good stuff, but give me the Seahawks. There we go. That wraps up our NFL Pick'em. Fun as always. Good times were had, and Alex Weister, my man, I appreciate you for calling in this morning.
Of course.
All righty. We'll be talking to you very soon, Alex. Have a good rest of your Sunday.
Yep, you guys too.
Awesome. There he goes, Alex Weister. That's our NFL Pick'em. We got a sports grab bag coming up next. Stick around. It's the last segment of the Sunday Sports Rush. Sunday Sports Rush, last segment here. Jerry Plemons is with us from Crossroads Clinical Research. Jerry, what's the latest, man?
Well, there's a new veteran charity I want to talk about here for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Coastal Ven Heroes. We're out there going to try to make a difference to help local vets that need immediate needs. So if you hear about us, Coastal Ven Heroes, and you give us a chance. Give us a donation once we get some stuff going online. So remember the name, Coastal Ven Heroes, helping out vets.
Coastal Ven Heroes, helping out vets. Awesome job. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. You're with us this morning. Only got a few minutes left. We just had our NFL Pick'em segment. Got some news from Ian Rappaport of NFL.com. Ian Rappaport says, good news for the Cowboys, as they are expected to have Tyler Biadasz and Zach Martin
available today versus the Patriots. Of course, Biotish battling that hamstring injury and Zach Martin battling that ankle injury. Both are expected to suit up and play. The only offensive lineman out today is Tyron Smith, who, after today, will have missed 34 games since 2020. 34 games in the past 3 complete seasons. That is 2 seasons worth of games right there.
I've made a bold statement. Well, I wouldn't say it's bold, but I think this is his last season in the NFL.
Wow.
I called it a couple years ago when we first started the show. I didn't see him making it past 2023.
Interesting. Well, I mean, you never know. You never know how the Cowboys decide to go with that. Eventually, they're going to have to invest in another left tackle because they do want to keep Tyler Smith at left guard. That's what they want out of the kid. They would be starting him today at left tackle.
Yeah.
But instead, they got Udoga, who's going to start at left tackle. And we mentioned one of our matchups of the day to watch is Patriots defensive end Matthew Judon against the backup left tackle, Udoga. So watch out for that one today. 361-882-5397. Y'all guys have been getting in. Appreciate y'all so much. Biggest Cowboys concern from JC says not being able to convert in the red zone. I agree with that one. Andres says the offensive line. Paul says field goals in the red zone and not converting points in big spots. Agreed. Agreed.
James, real quick, I gotta kind of switch gears here.
Go for it.
Breaking news.
Go.
Wait, hold on.
Breaking news.
Wow, breaking news.
Adrian Wojnarowski. The Trailblazers have traded Drew Holiday to the Celtics.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was hoping the Spurs could maybe be in on that.
The Celtics were favored. That was a report last night, and it's come true.
So that's a big move for the Celtics.
The Celtics have always needed a true point guard to run that offense so Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can play off ball.
That's going to be a great addition for them.
Yeah.
The NBA arms race never ceases to not exist, right, Jerry Plemons? It's just an arms race. Everybody's trying to get somebody.
Well, you got to keep
up, right? And now the Celtics make a move. Good move right there.
Great move for them.
NBA will be coming up very soon, but today it is Cowboys game day. Just a reminder, 3:25 kickoff right here on Keys, 2:30 pregame, also right here on News Talk KUIS, 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. All of us on the show, myself, Jerry, Aiden, Marcos, and Alex Weister, we all picked the Cowboys to win today.
The best time of the year is the 12 o'clock on a Sunday during football season.
Oh, no question.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
And today we get a bonus with some baseball.
Yeah.
We do. Let's go Stros and Rangers. Big implications today for the AOS Championship.
Thank you, Jerry, for coming on.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Appreciate you, Jerry. Appreciate everybody who texted in, everybody who listened this morning. Y'all guys and girls, much appreciated. All right, that wraps up this edition of the show. Episode 134 is in the books. Aiden, great job out there.
Yeah.
Jaden, Jerry, thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. For Adin Ducker, Jerry Plemons, I'm James Espinosa. No more questions. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and go Cowboys!